So it's worth the wait.
And that was Kayla McDermott reporting. Mike Sal says due to incoming weather, second day of its potato chip sale has been moved to Monday.
You know, we're long past Christmas, but that is not stopping a group from spreading their kindness and giving away money. They call themselves the Breakfast Santas, and for years I've followed their generosity every December. They go to restaurants and surprise employees with money, most times more than $1,000. This week, the group stopped by Carmen's Deli in downtown Dayton. You see right here, owner Haitham Imam chatted with them at their table. Then the Santas gave him $1,000 to use however he needed. You can see in these few pictures they took, Imam was emotional. Today, Imam told me he was so grateful. He said he's a proud immigrant living the American dream.
This is the place where passion and love of mine and a dream come through. And I'm working very hard to keep it going. We've been really hit after the pandemic. But I always tell my staff, even my family, relation is number one. Take care of people. No matter what, just take care of people.
And Imam told me he is a true believer. If you do the right thing, good things will come back to you.
And now, your Storm Center 7 forecast with meteorologist Robert Gauthreaux III.
That's a great story, and I'm glad the Breakfast Santas went today instead of tomorrow.
Yes, they would. They might need a boat in some instances. You're talking about some really remarkable potential rain totals.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is that all of it coming at one time, it's going to take a little while for the ground to soak it up. I mean, I know we were dry for a good while there, but we're going to see rain tomorrow. We're going to see some wind. We're going to talk about severe weather, so let's talk all about it right now. Futurecast rain shows the chance for some rain across the entire Miami Valley. Now, take these numbers with a grain of salt because this is just a computer model trying to predict rain west to east. And one thing you'll notice is that you have a better chance of rain down toward the south and west because the rain is coming this way. So what we are expecting is around 1 to 2 inches. We could see some localized areas with higher amounts, about closer to 3 inches. So you see some of those red spots there. So just keep that in mind. One, we talk about the rain. How will this impact the rivers? Good news for us is that we're not expecting any significant river flooding, although you have to head up probably closer like Van Wert County is where we could start seeing some impacts from the rivers, and then actually much of Indiana, but not the Indiana counties in our viewing area. So that's good news. So as far as rivers are concerned, Jim was asking me about this. He sent me an email. I want to show you that none of these rivers are forecast to reach above flood stage, but there are a couple that are going to get kind of high near flood stage. So the Great Miami at Sydney or at Miamisburg or at Middletown or even the Mad River at Springfield, they're expected to crest either Friday or Saturday nights. And you can see they're cresting near flood stage, not quite flood stage, but probably keep an eye on these ones anyway. But overall, we're looking good as far as the rivers are concerned. Next thing to talk about, the wind. The winds will start to become a little bit breezy by tomorrow morning. Here's a look at 4 a.m. You'll notice winds are about 20 to 25 miles per hour. They'll pick up in the afternoon. That's when the wind advisory starts. You can see winds about 40, wind gusts about 40 to 45 miles per hour. And then even into the morning on Saturday, here's a look at 4 a.m. Still pretty breezy, about 30 to 35 miles per hour. Then we have the severe weather to talk about. General chance, or the best chance really, is generally down to the south. But part of the area is under a risk for severe weather. So when we're expecting this is probably around 2 to 6. You'll start to hear some rumbles of thunder, perhaps an isolated strong storm. And here's a map showing the storm fuel moving into tomorrow. That's the real instability. And you can see around 4 or 5 o'clock, a little bit of that red moving in here. That's going to be the best chance if these storms want to have any chance of actually blowing up, is when we'll have to keep an eye on the sky. So right now, our eye is on our skies. And we're looking at some cloud cover, 42 degrees. Winds are out of the east-northeast, so they're not too breezy at this point. Here's the system making its way toward the Midwest. You can see some of those showers already making their way in southern Indiana. So in the next several hours, we'll start to see a few sprinkles before that moisture makes its way our way. So let's time it all out here. Futurecast moving into about 2, 3, 4 a.m. You'll start to see a few sprinkles kind of moving in. And then throughout the morning hour, some heavy bands of rain kind of persistently moving through the area. By the afternoon, you start to see a little bit more red here, indicating some of the heavier pockets of rain, perhaps a few strong storms, real isolated, but it's possible. And then as this pushes through, later in the evening hours, might even see a few flurries as those temperatures drop before things finally move on out of here. So the next 7 days, we're looking at least through the weekend, temperatures in the upper 50s for the afternoon and dry. And then even into next week, not looking so bad. Thursday, temperature begins to drop, and I think beyond Thursday, so like the 8 to 12 day forecast, if you want to go out that far, looks like we're going to be cooler than average for mid-March.
I died twice. They brought me back.
He said that happened to him at a red light on a highway right here in the Miami Valley. Now the plan's to make sure that does not happen to anybody else. Also,
investing in health